Hello, guys. There? Yeah. Okay. So, do you remember what we have covered in the previous session? Guys, what we have covered, guys, so far? Can you tell me what we have covered so far? We'll start from AWS. I think I have done around 13 sessions so far, right? In AWS, we have covered so far 13 days, 13 sessions, 13 hours, more than 13 hours. Tell me what we have covered. First day, what I have done. Hello, guys, are there?
First day we covered what is cloud computing,
Mhm.
and what is data center,
Mhm.
group servers.
Okay,
So
I
first day
think
we covered
yeah. So yes, of course, you are right.
scalability.
Actually, I have covered cloud computing. That's correct, actually. Okay. Then second day,
Scalability, sir. What is scaling? What is scalability?
yes, we have done
Types of scalability.
and along with that, we also covered what? The horizontal scaling, vertical scaling. Yeah,
Types of scalability.
yeah, types of scaling, horizontal and vertical.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes, sir.
covered
Horizontal vertical.
region and all. When did we cover? Second day or third day? Yeah, region, availability zone, edge location. Is that second day or third day? Second day only, right?
Second day.
Yeah, regions, availability zones, and the edge locations. Okay. Then what we have covered?
So third day, how to create EC2 instance, we covered it, sir.
Yes, correct. Easy to instance, we have covered, I think so. Linux. I think the next 2 days we have covered EC2 only. Is that right?
Windows.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How to create keeper.
Windows.
Yes. For
Using
Windows machine
Windows
also.
like
Yes,
that.
yes, correct. For Windows machine also, we have created the elastic cloud computing. Okay. Then what else we have done? And after that?
So instance family, sir.
Yeah, that and all will be a theoretical one. Yes, we have covered the instance family and then pricing
Yes,
option, right? That and all, it's a theoretical one. We have covered from the instance, also from the pricing point of view. Yes, we have done. Can you tell me what are the different pricing options are available? Can you remember what are the different pricing options?
Yes, sir. General purpose.
General purpose. Do you have any general purpose pricing?
Memory optimized.
No, no, no. You are talking about the instance type. I'm asking the pricing options. On demand. Then what else? Spot instance. Super. Then what else?
Dedicated.
Dedicated host. Correct. One more.
Reserved.
Reserved. Right. So we have covered on-demand pricing, a reserved instance, spot instance, and dedicated host. Can you tell me what are the different instance type, instance families are available in AWS of EC2? One is
General purpose.
general purpose.
Memory optimized.
Compute optimized. Memory optimized. Correct.
Accelerated
Accelerated
storage.
computing. Storage optimized.
Storage
Correct.
optimized.
And then finally,
high performance
computing. HPC optimized. Correct. High performance computing. Good. Right. So tell me now, fifth day, what we have done? What we completed?
Sir, EC2 creation with putty, sir. PPK.
Okay, that's fine. Leave it. So Linux and Windows machine and the various way we have covered. Fine. What else? Maybe this is fifth day. We have covered as Nikhil mentioned,
putty,
like putty with a different base, right? So we have done with the help of a management console, the one way, the management console, and the another way, we can go for SSH client. It means that through the terminal, we can able to connect to your EC2 instance, or otherwise you can go for putty.
Putty.
Through that we can able to connect. Okay, what else? What else we have covered?
EBS.
Exactly. The storage part. Correct. The storage. So in storage, we have covered EBS, elastic block storage. Good.
Sir,
And what
before
else?
that,
Hmm.
sir, before that, sir, 6th class, installing Java, Jenkins and CentOS.
Okay, so I think, yeah, installing the reference software, right? Installing the
Yes, sir.
software. Installing the software on maybe a machine on EC2, right? Basic
EC2.
Java or other softwares, how can I install that we have
Jenkins
discussed
CentOS.
with help of a basic command, right? Basic Linux command
Yes, sir.
we have seen, like systemctl and sudo command and yum package that we have done. Okay, then 7th day,
Yes, sir.
storage part, correct. So in storage, we
Elastic
have
block
covered
storage.
EBS, elastic block storage. What else?
Snapshot.
Okay, after EBS,
Yes,
did I
sir.
take snapshot
Snapshot.
or any other topic I have taken?
Uh,
After EBS. After EBS.
snapshot only, sir.
No. After EBS. No.
Volume.
Volume is
Multi-
nothing but EBS. Volume is nothing but an EBS. Did you remember
Uh,
EFS I have covered?
After that, sir.
Yes.
After snapshot only EFS.
Okay. After snapshot only I have covered. Okay. No issues.
Yes, sir.
So after snapshot, EBS snapshot, I have covered the multi-attach feature along with the EFS. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
EBS multi-attach feature and also we have covered EFS. Yes, can you
Yes.
tell me what are the two reasons, the reason that we moved into EBS multi-attach and EFS? What is the drawback in EBS? There are two main drawback. What is the two
Uh,
We
drawback?
couldn't connect in same region.
Same instance.
Yeah,
Same region.
multiple EBS, sorry, single EBS we cannot share to multiple EC2. Correct? We
Yes, sir.
cannot attach multiple EC2 to single EBS. The one more
Yes.
problem,
We cannot connect different availability zones, sir.
exactly. One EC2 in one availability zone, we cannot connect it to another availability zone where we have a EBS. Only within the availability zone it is possible. Good. Good. Now tell me. And EBS multi-attach feature has some drawback, right? What are they?
Provision IOPS.
Exactly. It will support only a provision IOPS. One more.
And it doesn't
Uh,
support.
Nitro instance type, sir.
Exactly. It support only a Nitro instance. Apart from Nitro instance, it won't support anything. So that problem we have eliminated with help of elastic file storage. Good. Now next. What is the next topic we have covered?
User data and S3.
Exactly. So EC2 user data. And along with that, S3. Simple storage service we have done. I think we are taking the S3 only, around 4-day session we have taken. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Or anything is different? Any topic that I'm missing?
No, sir, it's correct.
Okay, fine. Right. So these are all the topics we have covered. Now today, I will go with another topic, but before that, I need to tell you few things, guys. Remember. So S3 is completed. Yesterday I have done the S3. So what are the topics I have covered in S3 yesterday? The theoretical part. One is I have covered the storage class in S3 and life cycle rule we have covered and the cross
Encryption.
application that is also we have covered. Yeah, tell me, Kritika, what is the topic name?
Encryption.
Yeah, server access logging and encryption. Correct. These are the 5 topics we have done. Now today, yeah, listen. Guys, remember, there are 2 important points you should remember, guys. One is the best practice. Remember, in industry, when you work with the real time, the company or maybe you have to follow the best practice. What is that? Don't use root account. Don't use root user or root account for your day-to-day activities. Day-to-day activities. It is the best practice, guys. Before that, can you tell me what is the root user? Who is the root user? What is root user?
He has
Admin.
all.
Root user?
Administrator.
Yeah,
Administrator, sir.
exactly. A kind of an administrator or whoever creating an account, right? So if you create your account, with help of an email address and password, then you are the root user, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So it means that they have the full access, right?
Access.
They have the
Full
full
access.
access. They can control everything. Can I say it like this? They can control everything. They can control everything. Like root user is a kind of super user, I can say. Root user is nothing but kind of a super user or powerful user. They are the powerful user, right? But what the company is telling to every employee, do not use the root user for your day-to-day activities. Every day, if you are working on your application, don't use the root user. This is the point you have to remember. Right? Which user I have to use? Then I will tell you later. Wait for a while. That's the topic today. Which user I need to use? That's the topic today we will cover. But as of now, remember, don't use a root user for your day-to-day activity. For daily task, don't use the root user. If you need the root user, then you can. But otherwise, don't use. And another one is you have to enable or you have to add extra layer of authentication. Extra layer of, even if you are using the root user, you have to add extra layer of authentication for your root user. You have to add extra layer of authentication for your root user. Guys, did you remember when you log into Gmail, right? Nowadays, if you log into Gmail in your browser, you have given your email ID and password, and now you are clicking on sign in button. But immediately what will happen? One OTP or some kind of pop-up will be generated in your mobile, right? Any Android or iOS, where if you say yes only, it will represent 3 numbers. And from that number, you have to put that number into your laptop. Then only you can able to log in. The first credential you already passed, username and password, email address and password. The second way of authentication also you are doing. Another way of authentication also you are doing with help of what? Through what? Through maybe some OTP or some kind of a number or another layer of authentication is happening, right? Yes or no? Did you notice
Yes,
this
sir.
one?
Yes, sir.
Did you notice this one? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me why we need that second layer of authentication? Why we need another layer of authentication? Why? Can you confirm? Why do we need a second layer of authentication?
For
So we have
security.
to security purpose, sir. We
Exactly.
have to take authentication from root user, sir.
Yes. Okay. Let's not talk about the root user. You are correct. For security. So if someone knows your username and password, they can able to log in. For that reason only, what Gmail recently they have done another layer of authentication. Now what will happen? One number or maybe any kind of a pop-up will be generated in your mobile. Through that you can able to log in and you can give the second layer of authentication. In the same way, when you use your AWS account also, now so far you know what basically we are doing. We are giving our email address and we are giving the password. When you click on sign in, that time you can see your Amazon Management Console. But today onwards, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add another layer of authentication. In order to add another layer of authentication in AWS, we have to do extra or maybe add or we have to enable MFA. If you ask me what is MFA, anyone knows what is MFA?
Multi-factor authentication.
Exactly. So we have to go for multi-factor authentication. I'm going to enable the multi-factor authentication. Guys, I know you all use Netflix and Amazon Prime, Hotstar and all. That time also you will get the multi-factor authentication. After you give your mobile number or email address and password, immediately it will ask another layer of authentication. Then you have to put the OTP number. Then only you have to scan something and then you have to give some number. Even though if you in your home, if you have a TV like Samsung TV and all, that time if you are logged into your Netflix or Amazon Prime, what will happen? Immediately it will ask you, hey, do you have already an account? Then you can scan it from your mobile and you have to scan it and you have to choose the particular account. The same way in AWS also, we can able to add another layer of authentication with help of a multi-factor authentication. Definitely in your real time, this you have to follow. For your day-to-day activity, do not use the root user account. If sometime if you use the root account also, you just enable the multi-factor authentication. Everyone, if you join IT company, definitely you will get a multi-factor authentication. Directly, you cannot log into any app. Mostly, every company, they have enabled the multi-factor authentication. Fine. Now, let's try the multi-factor authentication from your machine, right? From your machine, right? Let's click on sign into console, and I will right hand side I can see my name, right? My username, and before that I will close it. Close this one. Okay. Or this one. Okay. Right. Here you have a username, right? Just click on this Dinesh Kumar. And here, can you see something called security credential? Click on this. Click on this. And here you can able to see MFA, multi-factor authentication. It is not activated for your root user. The root user for this account doesn't have multi-factor authentication activated. In order to activate a multiple factor authentication, in order to improve security for this account, you can assign MFA. Now what I'm thinking, I'm going to add another layer of authentication with the help of assign MFA. Let me click on this. Once you click on this, you have to provide some device name for your you can create a multiple, multi-factor authentication. Now, as of now, I will create only one MFA. For that, I have to give some name. So I can give some name. So this is maybe authentication number 1. Like that, I can give it. Or MFA 1. I can give the device name like MFA 1, multi-factor authentication. And there are different ways in which you can do the authentication. Either you can go for some app in your Play Store or Google Play Store. You can download some app. Through that, you can enable the multi-factor authentication. Or you can generate some kind of security key that via that you can able to do. Or otherwise, you can go for hardware TOTP token. It's the one-time password token. Through that also you can able to enable. But most of the time I see in the real time or interview or maybe in the company, the people, they are using the app to enable. So I am also going to use authenticate using a code generated by an app installed on your mobile device or computer. Let me click on this next. Once you click on this, you can set up your authenticator app, right? You can set up your authenticator app. So before that, let me show you what are the list of applications that you can use, different apps that you can use it. See, here, if you are using the Android mobile, you can go for this kind of app, like Twilio Authenticator or Duo Mobile, LastPass Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator, Semantic VIP, whatever it may be. In the same way they have given for iOS also. I think both are same. So you can go for some app from your Play Store or App Store, right? You can download some app from your mobile. I already downloaded this first app actually, Twilio Authenticator, and most of the company, they are using the Duo Mobile also. You can go for Duo Mobile. And Google Authenticator, I don't see any company they are using because it's completely open source. For that reason, yeah, most of the company, they are using the Microsoft or Duo Mobile that I have seen, and you can go for any app. It's a normal app, simple, right? So let me I already installed this Twilio Authenticator app. It is already available in my laptop, in my machine. I already have in my laptop, in my mobile. Sorry, yes. Now let me. I can see show QR code, right? And clicking on this, and I already installed the app. You also guys try to install that particular app in order to cross check. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scan actually. So in order to scan, okay, I already, okay, let me click on scan. And I have scanned actually in my mobile and save this and this one. Okay, it is giving some password to me. 502133. One more MFA code I need to give it here. While creating, I have to give 2 times. One more code 904672. Now click on add MFA. Yes, it is enabled now. It is enabled now. Now I have added my multi-factor authentication. See, virtual, and I have added this one, and I can say created on now. If you want to add one more MFA device, yeah, you can add it as well. You can add it as well. So as of now, I need only one MFA device. Fine. Now let me log out this one. Let me log out, and once again I will log into the console. So I have to give the root user, and I'm using my email address, and click on next. And I have to give this one. So what is this? Click on, is this right? No. RNF5T2. Click on submit. Yes. It is asking the password. Let me give the password also. But see, in this time, it is asking MFA code, right? Let me give the MFA code now. I have some MFA code. It is generated in my mobile. Now I can able to see login. This is how, you can enable a multi-factor authentication. You can enable multi-factor authentication to your root user. So this is the industry standards that you have to follow. Any questions so far? Let's confirm. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Others? Guys, at least confirm. Any questions so far? Okay, fine. Okay, listen. Let today we'll try to understand the important stuff. So far, I have given some idea with respect to multi-factor authentication, but today my topic is IAM. IAM is another service actually. IAM is another service in your AWS. You know EC2, it is a compute service, right? In the same way, you have EBS, EFS, S3 is the storage service. In the same way, in AWS, we have one service called IAM. So IAM comes under your security service. IAM comes under your security service. So security. You have a different service. So I will tell you guys this one, how to see that security part. So AWS services, they have given many things actually. Okay, let me check and tell you. But your IAM comes under your security service. It's a security service. Okay. Now, what is IAM? Can you tell me what is IAM? What is the abbreviation of IAM? Yes. Identity and access management. IAM is nothing but identity and access management. If you ask me, IAM deals with I am deals with your authentication and authorization. I am deals with, I am service in your AWS. It deals with this two terminology. One is authentication and another one is authorization. So what is authentication and what is authorization? What do you mean by authentication and authorization?
It will give access is called authentication.
It will give an access called authentication. Yes. And what is authorization?
Accepting the terms.
Accepting the terms. Okay. It is an authorization. Okay. What else?
Allowing the permissions.
Which is
If
authentication
we
or
get
authorization?
notification, we are giving the S allow like that, sir.
Okay. That's an authorization we're saying or authentication we're talking?
Authorization for giving
Authorization.
the permission.
Okay. What is authentication then? Okay, no problem. I will tell you. I will simply, define this one. So if someone is saying what is authentication, authentication, you can define simply, it is to validating the identity. You are validating the identity is nothing but authentication. What is authorization? Authorization is nothing but you are validating the access. Validating the access is nothing but authorization. So your IAM deals with authentication and authorization. If someone is asking what is authentication, it validates your identity. But authorization, it validates your access. So guys, simply I will remember, right? Always I will remember by using this terminology. If someone is asking what is IAM, I will tell, right, who can access what? Who can access what? This is nothing but IAM. Who can access what? So what does that mean? Who can access what? What does that mean? Suppose if you take who, right? Who means who is making a call? Like who is making a call? Who is making a call to perform any action? To perform any action. Who is making a call to perform any action? Maybe user can make some action, or some application will make some action, or a service will make the action. But who is making that call? Who is making that call is nothing but who here. Who is making a call means who is allowing or who is putting the call in order to perform any action. It is nothing but an action. It is nothing but your who. So what is what here? What means which AWS resource or service that you are going to use. Which AWS resource or service that you are going to use. Then here in between we have a term called access, right? So access is nothing but the set of instruction. I think Monica mentioned this point. Set of instruction which either allow or deny that particular access. A kind of a policy. I can say it's a kind of policy. Suppose I will give you one good example. Suppose, right? Okay, suppose you have a folder, guys. You have a folder. Inside the folder, I have maybe two files. Inside the folder, I have two files, right? Now, this folder, it is available in the shared drive. Some shared drive. Here you have this folder and along with the two files. Now you joined around 10 members, so including me, maybe a totally 10, right? We all, given the permission to access this two file. But what happened, right? Among these 10 members, only 5 members can able to can able to view the file. They can able to view the two files actually. They can able to view the file. They cannot do any modification. They cannot write anything. Only they can able to read. They have only a read permission. But other 5 members, they can do read as well as read means view, right? Read as well as write permission. Read and write permission. So maybe totally consider like 12 members. And the 2 members, they don't even to see that folder itself. They don't have a permission to the folder. Don't even have a permission to the folder. They cannot see the folder. They cannot see the folder. But the 10 member, they can able to see the folder and they can able to access these 2 files. But only 5 can able to view the file and only 5 can able to do both read and write operation. Now listen, here totally we have a 12 members, right? So here if I ask you how many members are authenticated members, if I ask you, you have to tell 10. Authenticated user. Authenticated user, how many members? 10 members are authenticated user. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes,
sir.
everyone can log in,
Yes.
but they
Yes,
cannot
10
do
members can able to log in. But these 2 members, even they can't see the folder, right? They can't see the folder. Now this 10 member, they are the authenticated user. They can able to log in. You are correct. They can able to log in. But again, here we have attached some policy. What we have attached, right? In that 5 only can able to what? Can able to view, only they can able to read it. And 5, maybe can take like this. This 5 member, there are 2 files, right? Consider like that they can, this 5 member, both the files they can able to read it. But this 5 member, only they can able to read only 1 file. They can able to read only 1 file. Now, these guys, this 10 members also, we can call it as authorized user. This 5 member can able to read both the file, but this 5 member can able to see only 1 file. So that's the basic authentication means you can able to log in. Maybe consider like you can able to log in. But authorization, what kind of privileges, what kind of permission that you have, whether read permission or write permission or some other permission, the permission, only policy that talks about your authorization. But authentication, are you the valid user? That's the reason I have written it like who can access is nothing but authentication. What they can access, it is nothing but authorization. Are you clear what is authentication and what is authorization?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now suppose what I'm doing right here, we are all using the Zoom, right? I have given the credential. That's the reason you are able to log into. But other people, they cannot log in because you are the authenticator user. You all, I have given the authentication. Thereby, you guys can able to log in. Other people cannot log in unless or until if I share the username and password, they cannot share it. They cannot log in. Now, you are the authenticator user. Now, what I am going to do, what I will do, right? Only I am allowing Nikhil to talk. Others should not talk. For that reason, let me know what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute them. It is available in Zoom. I can able to do like, so that's nothing but authorization. Here, only the Nikhil is authorized user. Other guy cannot see that one. Only you guys can able to view my session, but you cannot talk. But authorization is nothing but giving the permission. What kind of permission that I am allowing? So authentication, it's a kind of, who is trying to access this one. So whether they are having some credential in order to log in. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts so far?
No,
Any doubt? What is the difference between authentication and authorization?
no.
So IAM is nothing but it's the addition of your authentication and authorization. Simply remember. IAM is nothing but your addition of authentication and authorization. You have to remember. Now, let me talk about, there are 4 elements in your IAM, guys. It is an interview question. There are 4 important elements in your IAM, service. There are 4 important elements. What are they? The first element is user. The first element is user. IAM user. The first element of your IAM is IAM user. The second one is roles. IAM roles. The third one, groups. The fourth one, we have a policies. These are all the 4 important component or 4 important elements in your IAM. Important component in your IAM is user, roles, groups, and policies. And this user, right? This user, IAM user and IAM roles, both this IAM user and IAM user, both are classified under your authentication. IAM user and IAM role, both are classified under authentication. And your policies, it is classified under your authorization. And the group is classified under your best practices. I will talk more about this one later, but as of now, remember, practices. So IAM user and role, it is classified under authentication. Policies, it is available under your authorization. And groups, it is written on top of your best practices. Best practices. Why I am calling it as a best practices? I will tell you. Wait for a while. Can I say, I already told you, IAM is nothing but it's a combination of authentication plus authorization. It means that who can access what is nothing but IAM. So I can say authentication, I already told you, user/roles. User and roles, it comes under your authentication, and the policies, it comes under your authorization. Maybe I can tell, right? IAM is nothing but user policy or roles policy. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Guys, this terminology, maybe you feel like it's a difficult, but definitely will understand. Wait for a while. Now, I have a question. Can you tell me how many ways in which we can access these services from AWS? Can you tell me? What are the different ways in which we can able to access the service from AWS? The one way?
Through multi-factor authentication.
No. I am talking about accessing your services from your AWS cloud.
We have to go to IAM in order to access these user roles and groups.
No. I'm not talking about the user role. Only the services, any services. EC2, S3, EBS, EFS, any services from AWS. What are the different ways available to access?
We have to log in and we have to type in the search.
Yeah, that's the page we can call it as. After login, we are seeing some page. That page we can call it as. What is the page name? The first page, very first page. Console. Yes, it is a management console. Correct. So the one way is we can access your AWS through your AWS management console. What is the second way? What is the another way? What is the another way to access your services from AWS? Is there any other way? What is the next way? Without login to your AWS, can I able to access? Correct, Samuel. Super. So we can go for CLI. Correct. Command line interface. Yes or no? Guys, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Command line interface. Or you can call it as a terminal. Anything. Or command prompt. Or you can call it as a PowerShell, whatever it might be. PowerShell. Or you can consider like putty. Or you can call some other also like, what else we have? Yeah, we have a What else?
Good.
That's it, right?
Recipe.
Yeah. Is there any other way? We have a cloud shell also, right? We have a cloud shell. In your WebUI itself, you can see the cloud shell. In that way also, can you see this one cloud shell? And here you can see one something, right? It's a cloud shell. Through that also, you can able to access your AWS services. Now tell me, is there any other way apart from management console? Yes, correct.
Git
Tell me.
bash.
Sorry.
Git bash.
Yeah, Git bash also it comes under here only. All are kind of a CLI. The CLI is nothing but the CLI we are using in different way, like terminal, command prompt, PowerShell, PuTTY, Cloud Shell, Git bash, whatever it might be. Is there any other way? Is there any other way? This I think you know already. I told you this one. Another way is SDK, software development kit, using some programs, guys. Python, Bash scripting, right? Or Java, some programs you can write. So this CLI and SDK comes under a programmatic way. Even you can go for some program. Thereby also you can able to what? You can able to access your AWS services. Now we are learning a management console, right? Through the management console only we are interacting with your AWS services. But apart from this, you can go for a programmatic way also. Either you can use the CLI or you can go for SDK, software development key, some program like Java, Python or JavaScript, whatever the program is supported by AWS, that you guys can use to access your AWS services. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now tell me, what are the different credential you will use, guys? Can you tell me what are the, so far, what are the different credentials you use to log in to your AWS account? To your AWS account. That way only we can able to access all the AWS services. 1 minute, guys. Sorry guys, listen. So what are the different credentials used to log into your AWS account? Suppose if you are using the management console, that time what credential guys you will pass? How you are login? You are login as,
User password.
you are login as a root user, right? Yes or no? You are login as a root user, is that correct?
Yes.
When I log out, when I click on sign into console, you are logging as a what? You are logging as a root user. Account owner that performs a task requiring unrestricted access, right? So you are logging as a root user. Then for that, what you are passing? You are passing your email ID and along with the password. And along with the, yeah, we have enabled the MFA also. If you want, you can add it. Okay. But as if you are not enabling MFA, yes, email ID and password that you are passing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, my question is, if you are logging as a through the AWS management console, you are using the root user email ID and password that you are passing. Now, suppose, is there any other way through the management console we can able to log in? Yeah, we can able to log in as a IAM user also. You already so know, right? In IAM, we have one element called user. Is that correct? In IAM, we have one role called, sorry, in one element called IAM user. You can able to log in your AWS management console with help of IAM user also, right? So then this time what you have to pass? This time you have to pass the username and password, guys. What you need to pass? The username and password. It is not an email ID and password. It is a username and password. Can you see if you click on I am user, it is asking the account ID. When I type account ID, if I click on next, it will ask you username and password. What is account ID if you ask me? Account ID is nothing but an ID which is associated for your account. Maybe I will show you. Suppose so it will ask you MFA. Right. So here if you click on this, can you see the account ID? So this account ID, how to use it? Right. So now remember, when you log into your management console, if you are using the root user, you can pass the email ID and password. But if you log in as I am user, I can add you one more point also. You have to pass the account ID along with the username and password. So far clear? So far clear?
Yes.
Now suppose if you are using CLI or maybe STK, you are going outside, not through the aws.amazon.com. You are going outside. You are using the command line interface, or you can use the STK. Now, how can I log in into your AWS account? If you ask me, you don't have any username and password and all. What you need to do, you have to use a key called access key and the secret key. You have to create what? An access key and the secret key. This is the two key that you have to create it. Guys, do not generate an access key and secret key for your root account. It is maybe a safety violation, right? Do not create an access key and secret key for your AWS account, but root account I'm talking about. But when you log in as a user to your AWS through the console, so through the command line interface. So which key you have to use? Access key and secret key. Again, access key and secret. What is access key? What is secret key? That we are going to see practically. As of now, remember, when you log into management console, there are two options. One is root user or I am user. But if you go with the CLI and STDK, so which one we have to use? Access key and secret key. So let me stop this session here because I have an interview now. So we can continue this topic tomorrow, guys. Is that fine?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll see tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye.